Chapter 15, Destiny Interrupted. A face pops up in front of me. You're in a hurry. Where are you headed? It's Joel Weber, grinning, showing off his super straight teeth. I freeze. Not headed in your direction, that's for sure. Technically you are, since you're facing me. I spin around. So, this is rude, me having to talk to the back of your head. Wait, he thinks I'm rude? I spin around again and face him. What's your deal, Joel? Are you nice, mean? What are you? To the principal's kid, I'm nice. Through gritted teeth, he says, I don't have a choice, right? Do whatever you want, I lower my voice, but stop launching spitballs at Graham Parker. He throws his hands in the air like he's innocent. I have bad aim. I was trying to hit the trash can. Tell him to sit somewhere else. He should be able to sit wherever he wants without being ambushed. Wow, I'm impressed, Allie. Joel folds his arms and nods like he's got it all figured out. You're going to make a good principal someday. Your mom will be so proud. Stop it. You can make up all the rules. That will be a blast for you. I don't make rules. I don't want... Except, he interrupts, you already have a rule. The one where you tell on people, especially your friends, and get them in trouble. My heart races, chest tightens. I didn't mean to, and I'm not willing to give him the satisfaction of an explanation. Chloe is the only one who deserves to hear that, so I don't say another word. I walk off. Whack. I don't walk fast enough because Joel Weber beats me. He smiles and charms his way into the Foursquare game. Within moments, he's made all the girls laugh. They think he's so cool, funny, cute. Throw it, he says to Lindsay Cooper, as hard as you can. Lainey is the pitcher on her softball team. Throwing a ball hard is what she lives for. She flings it, and Joel puts his hands up, but not high enough. It whizzes by him, hurtling towards the grassy patch, directly at Graham. Oh no! I sprint toward the grass, my heart pounding as I pump my arms, rushing to get over there. I don't quite make it. Whack! The ball hits him hard, knocking him to the ground. Aw, so sorry, Joel calls out. Some kids giggle, but they try to hide it. The yard duty teacher approaches Graham and pulls him up by the elbow. Are you injured? Tell me what happened. I freeze, not sure whether to say anything. Would he even want me to? Graham wipes the dirt off his pants, then picks up the ball. He glances at Joel, then at me. It was an accident, Graham said as he gently tosses the ball back towards Lainey. The yard teacher seems to think everything's fine. She heads off in another direction, and the games continue like nothing happened. But I saw Joel reach for the ball. He knew exactly where it would go. He missed it on purpose. My heart races. I want to run to Mom and tell on Joel, but I can't. I just can't. Graham gathers all his nature-made musical instruments scattered on the ground and stuffs them into his pocket, then tucks his notebook under his arm. With his head high, he marches off toward the school without looking back. Just as I see Graham reach for the door, I notice something. Peeking out from the bottom of his shirt is some cloth. Red cloth. My eyes drift up. More red peeks out of his collar. As I watch him disappear inside the building, I realize under his clothes, Graham Parker is secretly wearing a cape. Questions. Do I ask him about the cape? What if he gets mad or embarrassed or even worse, silent? I see him in the hall. I want to ask him, but I don't. I see him in math class again. Want to ask, don't. Every time the question comes to mind, the knot in my stomach twists harder. I'm not sure why. Maybe we all have secrets. Lunch, unfortunately. The day crawls along as slowly as a fat caterpillar. Every few minutes I glance up at the clock. The afters will be holding our game of eavesdropping bingo. Since I will be Graham's partner, I can hang out with him and not ask him about the cape. I will not say a word, not one word. The clock reads 12:35. It's time for lunch, unfortunately. So here's how lunch works. Basically, everyone dashes into the cafeteria like their hair is on fire and tries to act like their hair is not on fire. It's a delicate act of rushing around while simultaneously looking cool. This is not easy to pull off. All the kids attempt to be the very first in line for hot lunch. Well, not everyone. Some kids bring their own lunches, but usually only those with allergies or picky eaters. Personally, I am not a fan of lunch at school. Chaos and noise are not things I like to experience while digesting food. My only exception is Monday nights when Dad and I watch basketball. But I storm the cafeteria along with everyone else because of one thing and one thing only: half-frozen chocolate milk. The cafeteria manager, Miss Jean, always puts the chocolate milk on the bottom of the box refrigerator, right under the regular white milk. She wants to try to make us drink the regular milk by making the chocolate milk hard to get to. But we're on to her. The chocolate milk underneath gets colder than the rest, and if you can catch it on the right day, under the right conditions, when you dig deep, deep, deep down in the refrigerator, you will pull out the most heavenly, icy chocolate treat you can imagine. There are only 3 people ahead of me in line. Today might be my lucky day. Joel is first. Like always, he doesn't get all Hulk-like and mean in order to get to the front of the line. His approach is much more stylish, I guess. He always goes to the first person in line, tells them he is suffering from a certain horrible disease, and explains that this chocolate milk might be the only cure. One time he had eyelid disease, one time it was rubbery bones. It's always something weird or wildly made up, and everyone practically looks forward to letting him cut in line, just to hear what today's ailment will be. Pardon me, Joel limps up to Ella Steiner, first in line. My foot has gone numb. Fair lady, the doctor says it's the worst case of pudding foot he's ever seen. Ella smirks. Pudding foot? Yes, it's exactly how it sounds. My foot is full of pudding. Apparently the only cure is extremely cold chocolate milk. May I? Ella bows. Please, take my place. It would be my honor, Signor Puddingfoot. Everyone laughs. I laugh too, but only a little. We all peer in as Joel reaches deep into the refrigerator. Touchdown, he hollers as he lifts the chocolate milk high in the air and saunters back through the line. Life seems easy for him. He always gets what he wants. Ella reaches in, digs around. Oh no, that was the last one. The rest of the line gasps. Miss Jean walks up to us, shaking her head. Second graders, they cleaned me out about a half hour ago. My shoulders slump. The day was already awful, and now this. At least there are tater tots. View from a corner seat. After getting my food, I stake out my spot. Since I don't sit with Chloe at lunch anymore, I claim this corner seat every day, so there's only one chair next to me that needs to be filled. Less rejection that way. My corner seat is strategically located near the stage, where I have stuff to look at. There are posters on the wall, props from plays pushed to the sides, brooms left behind. This way, I appear super busy looking at things, and I'm not super sad that I don't have a flock of friends by me. I'm probably the only person in the room who puts this much thought into seating arrangements. At least the Jennas usually sit at my table. That's Jenna P. and Jenna R. They are very good at holding a lunch tray in one hand and a book in the other. These girls are readers. And when I say readers, I mean they read all the time, like even in the carpool line and even in the bathroom. So of course they read at lunchtime too. Every few minutes after flipping some pages, one of them says to the other, "What page are you on now?" They read like it's a competitive sport. It just stinks that they talk to me only when they need to settle an argument. Maybe they would talk to me like a human if I shared their reading habits. I love to read, but it's not like I'm trying to get into the Olympics. I really hope we're partners for the book project, Jenna P. says as she stuffs her mouth with a tater tot and flips a page. Jenna R. nods. Right? We would rock that report. It's truly impressive how the Jennas eat, talk, and read all at the same time. I lean forward. What report? I mean, we both read at virtually the same rate, Jenna R. continues, without answering my question. It just makes sense for us to be partners. I clear my throat. What report? Both Jennas look up at me, almost startled. Their focus is amazing. Jenna R. laces her fingers together. The book project with Mrs. Santos. You get to do it with a partner, which is super cool, Jenna P. adds. But Miss Santos picks the partner. Jenna P. pouts, which is super scary. What if I end up partnered with some random weirdo who doesn't speed read? Reaching across the table to pat my hand, Jenna R. whispers to me, "Pray you don't get partnered up with a weirdo." She turns and motions to the other side of the room where Graham is sitting. He's no weirdo, I say, but it's a whisper and I'm not sure they hear me. The bell rings. Like ants, the students file out of the room in an orderly yet chaotic rush. Before I leave, I take a glance at Graham. I can't help myself. I get a good view of the back of his shirt. Nothing. No red cloth. The cape is gone.